Good morning, everybody. You can take your seats. We're going to begin the program. Good morning, Truckee. My name is Raven Whittington. I am the Truckee Chamber Board Vice Chair and attorney at Porter Simon, your MC this morning. Just a guy as well. Okay, here we are. Running a little slow this morning. This morning we have a diversity, equity, and inclusion presentation, and we're also going to get an update from the Truckee Cultural District, and they'll be going first this morning. We're going to thank our sponsors, the presenting sponsors, Kelly Brother Painting, Town of Truckee, East River PR, Tahoe Forest Healthcare System, Tahoe Mountain Realty, and Porter Simon. The Cappuccino sponsors, Pacific Crest Wealth Planning and Mountain Hardware and Sports, Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, Got Dogs, JK Architecture Engineering, Wild and Rough, Mount Lincoln Construction, Auerbach Engineering Corporation, Dixon Realty, Truckee Tahoe, and NV5. And our media partners, Truckee Tahoe Media, Tahoe Truckee Media, I always do that, 101.5 FM, Truckee Tahoe Radio, Sierra Sun, and Moonshine Inc., and Mountain Brew for the coffee this morning, if you all are enjoying that. And we want to thank our committee, who is Jessica. She is the CEO of the Chamber, Ruth, Melissa, and Marissa. So thank you for putting this on. And the committee is Kelly Cutler, Naomi Peacock, Ernie Grossman, Gerald Herrick, Tony Lashbrook, Jim Porter, Deb Ryan, Ted Owens, and Jess Carr. And now, without further ado, let's go around the room and introduce everybody. Kelly, let's start with you.
Kelly Cutler, Truckee Cultural District, and Nevada County Arts Council.
All right.
Eliza Tuda, Executive Director at Nevada County Arts Council.
Jessica.
Jessica Penman, President and CEO of the Truckee Chamber.
I'm Lindsay Romack, Mayor of Truckee.
Karen Wilketts, North Lake Tahoe Truckee Leadership Program.
Patricia Egan of PK Creative.
Tony.
Tony Lashbrook, Interested Citizen and Watershed Council Board.
Thank you for being interested, Tony. Career of being interested.
Kathleen Egan, Friends of the Truckee Library Board.
Ted Owens, Tahoe Forest Health System and Chamber Board.
Good morning, Dr. Barry Treisman, local chiropractor.
Hi, April Cole, Friends of the Truckee Library Campaign Director.
Jim Porter, I work for Raven.
That's right. Good to see you here. Shouldn't you be billing right now for me? Or let's go right here in front.
I am.
Scott Montgomery, Board President of Truckee Roundhouse.
Erica Mertens, also board member of the Truckee Roundhouse, but DEI Program Manager for the Town of Truckee.
Kayla Frank, Academic Year Program Manager at Adventure Challenge.
I'm Courtney.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm Courtney Walke with Tahoe Expedition Academy. I'm the DEIP coordinator.
Jeanette Curley, Palisades Tahoe Philanthropy and Executive Assistant.
Allison Franck, Palisades Tahoe Social Responsibility Specialist.
Lauren Tapia, Human Resources Manager and District Clerk for the Truckee Tahoe Airport District and Vice Chair of the Truckee Tahoe Workforce Housing Agency.
Jessica Carr, I'm on the Truckee Chamber Board and I'm the Director of the Small Business Development Center at Sierra Business Council.
Amber, let's go to your table there.
I'm Amber Burke, Coordinator of District Communications and Parent Engagement for the school district, and I'm also on the Chamber Board.
I'm Anna Marie Cohen. I'm Executive Director of Student Services for Tahoe Truckee Unified.
Kat Sultamrad, I'm a resident of Truckee, and I'm also a TTUSC Food Service Director.
Kat Rolfe, Truckee Tahoe Airport District.
Heather Schwartz, North Lake Tahoe Program Manager for SOS Outreach.
Against the wall back there.
Jean Fournier, I'm from Trails and Vistas, local nonprofit.
Thank you.
Nicole Berry, I'm with NV5.
Trisha Ruby and Fran Sanwith were with the Truckee Tahoe Community Chorus.
Chris Parker with Sugar Bowl Royal Gorge and President Truckee Trails Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Katie Moon, the Wild United, and I'm new to town, so nice to meet all of you.
Welcome.
Jan Zabriskie, Truckee Town Council and Nevada County Transportation Commission.
Louise Zabriskie, Friends of the Truckee Library, new library project.
Pastor David.
Pastor David, Crosswinds Truckee Assemblies of God Church.
Christine Pop, Community Prevention and Education Coordinator with Sierra Community House.
Brendan Lopez, HR and Risk Manager for Truckee Sanitary District.
And back here to you all. Jen?
Brian, Tohoe Truckee Community Foundation.
Jen Calloway, Town Manager in Truckee.
Laura Brown, Excellence in Education Foundation.
Allison Schwender, Placer County First Life Commission and Quebec Consulting.
Hillary Hobbs, Town of Truckee.
Anybody else? Yes.
Kathleen Zamitis, Church of Mountains.
Alex Michalski, Communications for the Truckee Donner PUD.
All right, welcome. Thank you all for being here this morning. And we are going to start with the Truckee Cultural District with Kelly Cutler, Eliza Tudor, and their, excuse me, Kelly is the new program manager for the Truckee Cultural District, and we have the executive director here for Nevada County Arts. So take it away. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see so many partners across both public and private sectors, municipal, local government of all kinds, special district, and the arts community is here this morning, which is very exciting for us too, because we've got some big news, all kinds of big news. Good morning from Truckee Cultural District partners. Can you all see the, yep? So the partnership is basically Nevada County Arts Council, Truckee Arts Alliance. Patricia is here with us. The Town of Truckee, Truckee Chamber, and Truckee Downtown Merchants Association. Do we have Cassie with us this morning? I didn't quite catch that. So all of us working together. And I'd like to begin with a land acknowledgement. Nevada County Arts Council and Truckee Cultural District partners acknowledge that the lands now called Truckee are on the unceded territory of the Washoe peoples. Generations of Washoe tribal members developed deep understandings of this land. Today, those long-standing relationships with the land, water, air, plant, and animal beings continue through ceremony, culture, stewardship, and sovereign governance. We are committed to understanding that the voices of the Washoe people from here, are primary voices, and to supporting their leadership towards a more just future for everyone. So with that, I just wanted to again draw attention to the fact that part of our success as a California cultural district lies in the fact that we are a partnership under formal designation by the state under Assembly Bill 189. This partnership provides a highly accountable public-private infrastructure that can respond to a broader range of opportunities, matched funding, innovation, and most importantly, a framework for equity. There's so much that we could say this morning if we had more time, and we'll be back. This morning is really about introducing a very, very special new member of our team, Kelly, who's standing next to me, who you all know. But I'm just going to run through a little bit of context before passing over to Kelly. So Kelly is our first Truckee Cultural District Program Manager. This is very exciting, and it's the result of literally years of advocacy. When I first moved to Nevada County in 2016 and began my role ultimately with Nevada County Arts Council, coming up to Truckee, I just wasn't sure how to support the arts sector, how to respond to community leads, and my first needs and my first point of call was actually the town of Truckee. And I came to see Tony Lashbrook here, and we had many great conversations, even before the announcement of, Assembly Bill 189, which would designate California Arts Council to go forth and create in sort of tune with a national trend of state cultural districts across America. Even before that, we had long conversations about how to nurture and nourish the arts in support of both artists, the organizations that support those artists, and through that, community needs more broadly. And I love acknowledging those early conversations. So the same conversations that continue today with Jen and Hillary and her amazing team. So when AB 189 was passed, it was passed without any funding at all. It was rather like a Trojan horse. You know, the idea was to just get it through, get the governor to sign off on it, after to pass through the various, pieces of legislation, but it came without no money. So for 5 years we existed on almost nothing until this year, post-pandemic, when the governor finally managed to secure enough monies for each cultural district to employ a full-time program manager, which is absolutely super. So the redesignation of the cultural districts happens every 5 years. It doesn't just happen by itself. So we had to compete against all kinds of forces, but including the high level of accountability that California Arts Council sets for us as the state agency for the arts. And we led this redesignation process in partnership with our key partners, the town, the chamber, Truckee Arts Alliance, most importantly. Truckee Arts Alliance being the sort of mouthpiece for the arts in Truckee. And we worked hard to push through and educate people in relation to key funding for the arts here. So before I introduce Kelly more formally, just a few current projects that she and will be working on. I can't move forward, though, without looking at just one major project that all of you will have enjoyed at the rec centre. I see Missy here, who is such a core part of the project, thanks to excellence in education, and so many community partners, including TTCF. And that was Forest Fire. Who went to Forest Fire? It was a marvelous, marvelous exhibition of over 20 artists and just the most extraordinary public outreach that defied the pandemic. It was absolutely extraordinary. Missy's team led the education piece hand in hand with local artists. It was an extraordinary project and came down only last year, so less than a year ago. I mention that because it provides a little lens into the role that arts can play within society. How do we educate folks not to be afraid of prescribed burning, for example? What is the story of our forests and our watershed? What does clean air have to do with that? So on the back of Forest Fire, Nevada County Arts Council applied for a slice of state funding, a part of a $60 million pilot program, the first of its kind in the nation, following the WPA of 100 years ago, that would place artists at the forefront of society, tackling issues such as public health, civic engagement, the degree to which citizens feel engaged with their local government and their communities, and the environment, of course. So, as a result, we've just re-granted $3.38 million across 19 counties. So your little county arts agency has been responsible for supporting artists across 19 counties, which is super. And in Tahoe Truckee region alone, we have awarded $508,000, nearly $509,000. Let's just call it $510,000 in grants to local artists and organizations, and are harnessing rural voices in establishing a regional approach to collective policies and programming as a transformational tool for society. And I mention this in advance of introducing Kelly more formally, only because it gives you a glimpse of the kind of work that we will be doing together with Truckee Cultural District in partnership with Truckee Arts Alliance and our partners. This work is extraordinary and deep. It's no longer about arts for art's sake. It's about how can we solve issues that all of us within the community need to have solved. A little piece of groundbreaking news last week was that Governor signed off on a very important piece of legislation that would affect affordable housing for artists. across California, but specifically within 1 mile of California cultural districts. So this is great. And guess what? Truckee is like on the forefront of this. So for all the press around Truckee artists' lofts and all the teething issues it's had, this is an incredibly positive story for Truckee. The fact that you have this amazing next generation complex within your downtown district is extraordinary. And so often we take for granted what is in our midst, especially when it's uncomfortable to begin with. But I look forward, with Kelly's help, to helping these artists feel properly immersed within the community in such a way that the community will understand their value to society. So it all began here in Nevada County, this piece of legislation. It's AB 1812, with a visit by Senator Ben Allen, chair of the Joint Committee on the Arts, and Assemblymember Tasha Borna-Horvath, who was Chair California Assembly Arts, Entertainment, Sports, Tourism and Internet Media Committee last year. They passed through Nevada County on the first leg of their journey, and we began the conversation about the urgent need for workforce housing and affordable housing for artists. So often what happens is a group like ours will come in and do such a great job, making it such a livable community, but gentrification sets in, and soon we find that artists have to move out. We don't want that here. So AB 182 authorizes local governments to set aside up to 10% of deed-restricted housing units within a locally designated cultural district, and up to 1/2 mile from a state-designated cultural district for eligible creative workers whose households qualify, etc., etc. It's amazing, but Truckee's already got it, so it's ahead of the game. So congratulations to Truckee. Just a quick look at the sort of depth of work we do as an arts council in collaboration with Truckee Arts Alliance and Truckee Cultural District partners. This is a sort of screenshot of our digital cultural asset map, which covers everything from where to park if you attend an event in Truckee to some of the most extraordinary historical landmarks. It's amazing. It's on our website. We're in the middle of updating it and hopefully working with the town to help with that too. Probably the biggest news of this week is that we received the final numbers from Americans for the Arts, which is the largest national advocacy organization in America. We've done a year-long economic impact study and social impact study of the arts based upon 2022 numbers. Do you want to see what we found? First of all, I'll tell you what we found 5 years ago. We do these things every 5 years. This is only the second time we've jumped on board with the national study on a local level. In 2019, we announced our 2018 findings, which showed that arts and culture in Nevada County broadly was a $47 million industry employing close to 900 full-time equivalent jobs. We found that cultural tourists, this is a no-brainer. We know that cultural tourists spend more, stay longer. This time we were particularly interested in measuring the social impact as well as the economic impact of the arts. And this is what we found. Arts and culture generated $66 million in total economic activity during 2022. This spending, $31.9 million by nonprofits, arts and culture organization, and an additional $34 million in event-related spending by their audiences, supporting 1,359 jobs, generating $39 million in household income for local residents, and delivering $13.2 million in tax revenues to local, state, and federal governments. It's extraordinary. So it shows that the arts are not just worthy of support, they are worthy of investment. So I think this is very exciting. In April next year, which is Arts, Culture and Creativity Month across the state, we'll be inviting the Director of Equity for Americans to the Arts to fly in and talk to us in Truckee about these numbers. I love this quote from the President of the United States Conference of Mayors, which is Reno's mayor. Mayors understand the connection between the arts industry and city revenues. Arts activity creates thousands of direct and indirect jobs and generates billions in government and business revenues. So it goes on. I'm going to ask Jessica if she could share this presentation later with you. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a sort of soft launch of these numbers online, and that information is on our website. It's at 12 o'clock. You're welcome to join us by Zoom. I'm going to skip this because I really want to get to Kelly. Kelly, it is such a delight for us to welcome you. You have such deep experience in the arts, and for you this is a very natural transition back into the arts, having served at the state level for Nevada Arts Council, not Nevada County, but the state of Nevada Arts Council, and having run Tahoe Arts for so long, then being executive director of the blah 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 in another sector, which was incredibly important in the construction industry. Just had a momentary memory lapse of the precise order of words there. But you are amazing, Kelly, and you've been given a very warm welcome by Patricia, who has been serving us at the Truckee Cultural District unbelievably through the last, is it 4 years, Patricia? At least two, between 2 and 4. Through everything you see, the amazing content you see about Truckee Cultural District through Truckee Arts Alliance is Patricia's work, and she's here with us today, and I want to acknowledge that. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you, Jess, for the technical assistance. And I failed to mention that I'm also proudly on the board of the Truckee Chamber of Commerce, and that team is in the room.
Look at that photo.
Right. Can we go back? There we go. Okay, that's where I want to start. Thank you, Eliza. I am really excited to start my new professional journey as the program manager for the Truckee Cultural District. And I'm here to say that it is true, things do come full circle. My career objective over 30 years ago was to be continually instrumental in bringing the arts to the community that I live in. And here I am, really experiencing that firsthand as a Truckee resident for 18 years. I feel like this is a great fit, and I'm excited to dig in. So this is what the work plan looks like that's going to be rolled out in the next 6 months. As Eliza mentioned, we've got incredible partners. I consider this to be our pillars. The Truckee Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Merchants Association, the Town of Truckee, as well as the Truckee Arts Alliance. So how many of you realized that we were a Truckee Cultural District? Raise of hands. I'm impressed. That's fantastic. I had the pleasure of being at a town council meeting about a month ago and speaking on behalf of the Public Art Commission for the town of Truckee, specifically the work plan being rolled out by staff. And one of our council members was not aware that we were a Truckee Cultural District and was really excited about the marketing strategy to be rolled out. So here we go. This is what it's going to look like. We're in the process of really making the community aware of what it means to be a Truckee Cultural District. And I don't know if this was mentioned, but there are only 14 currently in the state of California. So it's an incredible honor for Truckee to have that designation. And I want to thank Eliza for working so hard to get us there, as well as the partners. I'm going to go through this quickly, but we're really rolling out a plan that will take the Truckee Cultural District to the next level. We're responsible for the grant commitment, but also growing the cultural district so that we qualify for redesignation. Again, thank you to Jessica for including us this morning, because it really brings brings our awareness to next level. And this is a really good audience to do that with. We have some funding in the budget for signage, and there are opportunities.
Not all the funding, just some.
Some funding for signage. I think it would be great to approach Visit Truckee Tahoe about banners, light post banners downtown, specifically in April, which is a significant month for arts and culture in the state of California. Really looking forward to working more closely with the town and looking at their priorities. You see them on the wall, this beautiful visual for 23 to 25. It includes specifically a goal with communications and community cohesion around the public art master plan and the cultural district. So I'm looking forward to working with the town and really digging into the synergy there. And as well the Public Art Commission, which I sit on. We have a presence at Truckee Thursdays. We're talking about bringing back the Art and Soul fundraising event, so stay tuned for that. I also sit on the Workforce Development and Economic Vitality Committee, and I'm really looking forward to digging into some of the workforce initiatives that we have that are so important to that next generation and in being able to stay in Truckee and have a competitive wage and contribute also to the various industries that contribute to the economic impact in our community. The Truckee Arts Alliance is going to grow. It is going to need a fundraising plan. We are building the database, the branding. We actually have a meetup I'd like to invite all of you to at Gallery 5830 downtown at 5 p.m. this week. It's on Thursday, so put that in your calendars. We invite all of you to come and get a little more of an update from the Nevada County Arts Council, as well as hear from our local artists, what their passion is, what their projects are. It's a networking opportunity, and also what their needs are. Eliza mentioned the importance of advocacy, and that really is, I think, the flagship for the creation of the Truckee Arts Alliance, and so we want to keep that at the forefront. And just in conclusion, I want to, last night I really reflected on the work that I've done for arts councils, and it is so significant. And I wanted to read this because I know that today's topic was really around DEI. The work and responsibility of arts councils to distribute funds in a diverse, equitable, and inclusive manner is now especially important in the Arts Council role as funder. Having these dollars reach underserved and, in some cases, marginalized sectors within our geographic scope and community is some of the best work an Arts Council can do. And I think that the Nevada County Arts Council is really a leader in demonstrating that. Funding accountability is high, particularly in the distribution of public funds. And those of you that work for community nonprofits understand that accountability. And I just want to let you know that it's very passion-driven. We're warriors to our mission. I see you and I thank you for your service in our community. Thank you.
We squeeze in a couple of questions?
Couple questions, yes.
Don't be shy. This is your moment. You've cornered Kelly. We have a new office space at Lyft, which is great. It's unmissable. We're one of the first, non-profit residents of Lyft as partners, which is as anchor tenants, which is great. So we see many people passing through, which is great. It seems to be like a sort of heartbeat for the community, and it places us very squarely close to our partners, the town of Truckee and Truckee Chamber, which is wonderful. Other than showing up at 5 o'clock at 5830 on Thursday, any questions? if you do want to hear more about the economic and social impact of the arts across Nevada County, which was a year-long study, incredible, very conservative methodology, we really held ourselves to account. Please do come to our online sort of soft launch of it tomorrow at midday. You're so welcome. And then again, save the date for next April, which is California and Nevada County Arts, Culture and Creativity Month, because Americans for the Arts will be here to sort of spell it all out and have community conversations with you. Lastly, just to say we are going to be going into a sort of at least 6-month to 12-month period of cultural planning in order to make ourselves be eligible within the broader field of arts in Nevada County. We need to be clear that we have the foundational, we're ahead of the game in terms of what funding sources, and deeper pockets need. And a cultural plan will help us towards that end. So we'll be leading focus groups and listening sessions, etc., and workshops during the year to come. It'll be great fun, and Kelly will be, heading it up in Truckee. Thank you.
Thank you, Eliza and Kelly from the Nevada County Arts and Truckee Cultural District. And next up, we have the town of Truckee's own Erica Mertens, and she is the program manager for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program. Erica, thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning, all. While Jessica pulls this up, it's nice to see so many familiar faces in here. I have been in this role for the last year almost, and while I've been in this program for a year, I'm not a stranger to Truckee. It's I think the last time I spoke at Good Morning Truckee, oh gosh, Jess Carr is holding up a very embarrassing, very old Karen leadership program. That's the era, the last time I spoke at Good Morning Truckee. I was hoping to fly under the radar because my hair is very different now, but thank you for bringing that to attention. I'm happy to be here today to talk about our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program. I know many of you folks from my previous role as our sustainability Keep Truckee Green program manager, which I did for the last 6 years prior to this role. So this morning I'm going to talk a little bit about how we got here in terms of our DEI efforts, some real world case studies to really break down what does that look like in Truckee and where we're going next. All right, so as Kelly mentioned, these are the strategic focus areas for 2023 to 2025 from our town council members. Thank you, many of which are here. And this is really looking at what are the driving forces for the town of Truckee in this 2-year work time. And one of the council goals is to enhance communication and public outreach to facilitate community cohesion. From that was the spawning of our community engagement division, which is made up of Braun Roberts, our communications program manager or public information officer, and myself. So we're really trying to make sure that we are serving all of Truckee, including our underrepresented community members, including people like our Hispanic, Latinx population, low income, seniors, and etc. Not everyone is, we're aware not everyone is coming to town hall or showing up to Good Morning Truckee. So we really want to make sure we are reaching all parts of our community. Okay, what the heck is DEI? Maybe some of you have been wondering that yourself. DEI, of course, is the acronym for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And just some basic level setting, diversity can be the presence of differences in people that might be, physical, socioeconomic, racial, gender, and so forth. Equity on the left Maybe you've seen this illustration before. This is from the Interaction Institute for Social Change. And the difference between equality and equity is shown here on the left-hand side as equality. Everyone's getting the exact same thing, but there are still some people who need a little extra help. They can't see over the fence. On the right-hand side is showing equity, which is providing that extra boost and extra assistance to those who need more. Not everyone is starting out on an equal playing field. And so that's really what we're looking at, is trying to look through the equity lens as we go through serving the people of Truckee and ensuring that all people have access to our services, information, and civic engagement opportunities. And then inclusion, of course, is creating that culture of belonging where everyone feels valued and those differences are celebrated. Okay, so looking at some of the projects I've worked on in the last year to really break this down of kind of what DEI can look like here in Truckee. I'm going to give you a few different case studies. So the first one was this automated license plate reader project that the police department was leading this initiative earlier this year. So you might have heard about this initiative where we had about 20 cameras placed around the town of Truckee, and that was really for 3 key reasons. One, to take, those cameras take photos just of license plates. So that is for vehicle recovery of stolen vehicles, emergency evacuation purposes, to kind of live track how many cars are in any given area anytime, and then also for things like Amber Alerts. So with that, we knew that the outreach involved in this type of initiative would be sensitive to different groups, in particular a sensitive topic for our Latinx community who might have varying levels of immigration status or trust in law enforcement. So one thing that I did was work with our police department closely in kind of formulating a plan that would be culturally relevant and also sensitive to that group again. So thanks to some of the Sierra Community House staff who are here, I worked really closely in building that partnership with the Sierra Community House Promotores in the last several years. But basically what we did was have Chief Renfro come to the Regional Promotores meeting, which is held 100% in Spanish. It's really wonderful. And it was a power dynamic shift, if you will, because the chief was presenting in English and had an interpreter, and he was in a room where he was not in the predominant spoken language. So that was actually a really unique situation. And on the right-hand side, you'll see on all of my slides, I've got a little equity and inclusion spotlight, if you will, to really call to attention what about this is a DEI practice. So what we did there was we chose a venue outside of Town Hall that created a safe space amongst the Latinx population, especially for those community leaders, and we delivered the message in their preferred language of Spanish. So really just going outside of our normal outreach modes. Another project that I worked on was our community communications survey. This was done with Braun Roberts, and that was conducted this spring. So this was really to understand what information do people want to hear about in Truckee and how would they like to get that information. We received almost 1,400 responses across the community, and every single neighborhood was represented in those survey participants, so that was really wonderful. That included, of course, our single-family neighborhoods as well as mobile home parks and apartment complexes. The survey responses were 10% Hispanic Latinx. While that is not representative of our community makeup, that is a much higher rate of response from the Hispanic population than we've ever received before, and that was really in part to the targeted outreach that we did to get that representation. We tried a lot of different things in that process and that outreach. We had gift card raffle incentives for participation. We also gave out gift cards at some of the public events in order to, again, have that higher participation rate. One thing that is being looked at a lot now is compensation for people's time to show up to these type of events. We held many community outreach events in the process of the survey, and you can see in the picture there that was from the Truckee Library Dia del Nino event, and I'll talk a little bit more about that on a later slide. But we also did a free day at the Kid Zone Museum and had an event at Coldstream Commons, the apartment complex, in their community room. So looking at the spotlight, one of the things, again, that we really focused on was going to where the people are at, instead of asking people to come to us at the town. And also seeking out those neutral spaces where people are already going to be located. I also have had the pleasure of working with our housing program manager, Lynn Baumgartner. So she has been really busy in getting information out about the Truckee Home Access Program, among the many other housing efforts that are underway in Truckee. And we worked with, again, the Sierra Community House Promotores to look at hosting a presentation there that was conducted in Spanish as well. But before we got to those presentations, we recognized, hey, we actually need to translate all of these materials and have the basic program materials both on our website and the resources available in English and Spanish. So that was done, which was really great. And then we were able to have the kind of a pared down version of the training course for the Truckee Home Access Program conducted in Spanish at the Promotores meeting. As a result of that, as well, a THAP, that's the Truckee Home Access Program, a workshop was held in Spanish only. Some of those were happening both in English with the Spanish interpreter, but the feedback and encouragement that I gave to Lynn is to really try to focus on having programming that is actually just in Spanish, not with an interpreter. It can be done, but it can also make it a little clunky, and it makes it so that the information is not as well received, even if the intent is there. So I think that there was a lot of valuable feedback from the Promotores meeting. You can see the photo from the regional meeting. Many more folks go to that than just Sierra Community House staff, but again, the equity kind of spotlight practice there is making information both accessible and relevant to the audience needs. And what we heard from those workshops was, hey, actually the THAP is really more focused on home buying. We're really more interested in some of the rental programs. So more of the Truckee programming housing programs materials have now been translated as well. Changing gears a little bit, we recently had, if you've driven around town, the new Trout Creek Bridge project was completed and opened. With that, there's a very exciting interpretive sign that I'm sure many of you have seen, but there is a sign there that talks about the history of the Trout Creek and the water flow and whatnot. And I helped facilitate a conversation between our engineering department and the Washoe tribe to provide culturally and historically relevant information to include into that signage. And of course the sign is also available bilingually in English and Spanish. So just the start of many conversations. We're hoping to continue that conversation with the tribe to have a meaningful relationship in involving them in projects in the town of Truckee. And really, this is raising awareness of the Indigenous people who lived here since time immemorial, and really trying to pivot that historical vantage point that we often think of starting in the 1800s here, but there were people that have lived on these lands for far beyond that. All right, looking at our transportation programs, Alfred Knotts, our transportation program manager, has been very busy in the last several years since he arrived. And one of the really neat statistics is that the overall ridership increased by 7% between 2021 and 2022. And that actually occurred specifically at 6 multifamily and mobile home park locations. So that's really just showing that the folks that are living in those complexes, in those mobile home parks are driving that ridership. And that is a success also to the planning that happens for land use as well as the transportation planning. I also helped with the TART Connect expansion this year. As you know, we expanded that pilot program to continue year-round. And one exciting for me personally, was that the app was also made available in Spanish. So if your phone is set to the Spanish language, it also shows up in Spanish, which previously it was English only. So making, again, things more accessible. I went on kind of the, I would say, TART Connect media tour of sorts, and really went around to every single mobile home park and apartment complex, really got to know, a lot of my job is really getting to know the people, and did a lot of outreach there. So again, looking at providing information directly to multifamily complexes and not just to residents in single family homes. We know there's a linkage there as well of those residents of low income and often English as a second language, and so making that outreach a priority. I'm gonna skip through this, but this is a hotspot map that kind of shows the ridership levels and the apartment complexes. So as I said, we held many community engagement events. One of the special ones that we held for the first time this year was the Dia del Niño at the Truckee Library. And I honed in my other duties as assigned, face painting skills. But we were able to engage with 750 people between all of the different targeted outreach events. And what that really helps us do is, again, build authentic relationships with community members and build those bridges, have that trust in the town, as well as getting information to people in a way that they might not otherwise access it. So last Friday night we had a community swim night at the rec pool. Some of our partners were there as well, and I was able to, in Spanish, have conversations with residents about Code Red and the evacuation notifications that they maybe otherwise would never heard of. This is a regional DEI collaborative that I've been convening. It started out as a very kind of informal process, but if you don't see your logo on here and you think someone in your organization is interested in participating in this kind of peer information sharing, please let me know. And I just want to also make note to thanks to the community collaborative. They really helped lead this charge before we were even doing it here at the town, and I have learned so much from Allison as well as the entire DEI subcommittee for that community collaborative, also with Kayla Frank, who's speaking next. Okay, what's next? I know I'm almost at my time. this is really the meat of where we're headed. We are undergoing a DEI action plan. This is a 3-part process. The first part is looking at an environmental justice assessment. So the state has all of these regulations identifying what communities are disadvantaged. Truckee actually does not come up as a disadvantaged community, even though we know on the ground level the reality is very different than what the data shows. So we are going to be working with consultants who will be looking at the traditional data sources as well as having a lot of interviews and ground level information seeking. The second part is an organizational overview, so looking at what practices is the town doing, things like our hiring practices, our procurement spending practices, where are we spending our money, who are we contracting with. And both of those assessments will then inform our DEI action plan. So what that will look like is an actionable plan that identifies policies and programs to put in place, as well as metrics that are measurable to kind of hold us accountable to that process. There will be a robust amount of public outreach and engagement for this formation of the DEI action plan. So again, if you're at all interested, please stay tuned because there will be many, many engagement opportunities in the next year. And that's what I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. If y'all don't mind, just so we have time for Kayla, who's our next speaker, if we could have questions at the end. And I'm sure that Erica will stay around. Again, Erica Mertens, she is the town's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Program Manager. Thank you so much. Up next, Kayla Frank, and she is the Academic Year Program Manager from Adventure Risk Challenge. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Today, I'd like to share an overview of our program and how it aims to advance DEI in Truckee, as well as share some strategies that we've used to advance DEI in our organization. In this presentation, I'm going to focus specifically on racial equity and its intersections with socioeconomic inequality and issues of access. For those who aren't familiar with ARC, our mission is to empower underserved youth through transformational literacy, leadership, and outdoor experiences. And our vision is that all youth become stewards of their own future, their communities, and the environment. We prioritize high school students with financial, academic, and social-emotional need for support. Last year, we had 45 local students participate in our programming, and our staff delivered over 5,500 student contact hours. That number is significant because our program focuses on depth over breadth. While we don't have the capacity to serve a large number of students, we spend many hours with our students, sometimes over the course of multiple years, and as a result, we see remarkable growth and lasting change. Over 80% of ARC students identify as Latino and are socioeconomically disadvantaged. In our community, there is a gap in services for first-generation Latino students. According to data from the California Department of Education, in 2022, only 45% of socioeconomically disadvantaged students at TTUSD schools were considered college career ready at graduation. Our program provides one-on-one support to help socioeconomically disadvantaged and first-generation Latino students become college and career ready. The 4 overarching goals of our program are to support the development of writing and public speaking skills, positive peer and adult relationships, foundational leadership skills, and to create pathways to immersive experiences and outdoor spaces. Our multi-year program model provides a variety of opportunities for engagement and progression. Students may first encounter ARC through a classroom partnership at school, a lunch club, or an open enrollment weekend trip. In the classroom, we deliver a weekly curriculum in partnership with the 9th grade college and career readiness classes at North Tahoe and Truckee high schools. The curriculum focuses on team building and identity development and culminates in writing and presenting a personal statement. The Lunch Club is a new addition to our program model that provides a social space to support positive peer and adult relationships and provides a leadership opportunity for our older students. The open enrollment weekend trips are intended to introduce students to outdoor activities in the Tahoe-Truckee area that they may have lacked access to for financial or other reasons. In the summer, our students have the opportunity to participate in an 11 or 33-day immersive experience that includes more intensive literacy support, leadership development, and participation in multi-day backpacking trips, rock climbing, and whitewater rafting. The students who participate in our 33-day course have the opportunity to continue with our scholarship program. They receive monthly mentoring, participate in additional leadership opportunities, and receive a $1,000 scholarship upon graduation from high school. Students who have difficulty staying engaged in a traditional academic setting gain greater confidence in ARC's alternative learning environment with a low student-to-staff ratio. We have seen that those who participate in our full program progression gain the motivation and the academic and social-emotional confidence to continue their education beyond high school. Of the 36 students who responded to our survey at the end of the last academic year, as a result of participating in ARC, 75% felt more confident in the process of writing. 77% felt more comfortable being themselves in a group, 86% took more responsibility for their actions, and 72% gained an appreciation for the natural world. Now I would like to share some of the strategies that we have tried in order to advance DEI in our programming and within our organization. I want to start by saying that it has been a humbling process of learning and unlearning for us. We are proud of committing significant time, energy, and financial resources to this cause, and we continue to learn and evolve. Whenever we can, we look for opportunities to reduce barriers to participation. Our programming is funded by a mix of grants and private donations. As a result, our academic year programming is available at no cost, and the summer program is on a sliding scale based on family income, where a majority of our students pay just $1 per day or $33 for the summer. We provide all of the equipment that's needed to participate in our activities. We provide meals and snacks during all of our programs, and we provide transportation to any student who needs it. That is one of the more expensive line items for our program, but it has made a huge difference in who is able to participate. Our programming has always focused on underserved youth in our community, but this population can be difficult to recruit from when you are not a part of it. As a white, middle-class, college-educated woman, how am I going to convince immigrant Latino parents that they should permit their eldest daughter to participate in our 33-day immersive backpacking program when they really need her to take care of her younger siblings while they work? Let me tell you, it can be a hard sell. Some things that have helped us in our recruitment are hiring Spanish-speaking staff and creating bilingual materials, including our website, promotional videos, event posters, and registration forms. We spend time doing intentional community outreach, including attending and presenting at promotora meetings through Sierra Community House, and presenting to parents at the English Language Advisory Committee meetings. We've promoted our programs through trusted community partners like the Kids Zone Museum and developed an ongoing partnership with the GRIT program at North Tahoe and Truckee High School. The GRIT program is a college prep program for first-generation Latino students, and our partnership has helped us form stronger relationships with those students and their parents. Family is the heart of the Latino community. This is a photo of the Ruiz family. Jaime, on the right, participated in the ARC program in 2004, one of the first programs. His experience was so transformative that now 3 of his stepchildren, Giselle, Danny, and Carlos, have also participated in ARC. This is one of many ARC families in our community. Although not the focus of our mission, we've started to intentionally host some family events so that everyone can be a part of and inspired by the ARC experience. We started this year with a family kayaking and hiking trip to Sugar Pine Point State Park, and we will also be welcoming families to our annual holiday party and ARC graduation ceremony. Families tell other families when they've had a positive experience at ARC, and we have continued to grow the ARC family in this community because of these intentional efforts. Our students are the best representatives of our program, so I'd like to share a short video that we filmed in 2021 with the Pacheco family as part of our family engagement strategy.
I was looking at the rest of my family and I was thinking, yeah, I'll probably do exactly what they're doing. You know, the manual labor, backbreaking work. And I came back from ARC with hope and like believing that I really can do something extraordinary, just something that my family never told me that I could do.
I definitely noticed that he came back a much happier, more empathetic, more responsible individual. And you know, I said, hey, I mean I want that for me too, that'd be awesome. So I was like, I definitely want to try that, you know. I want to take that on too. Whatever you're going through, like they help you, they're there to listen, like a second family. I've always said that ARC is like my second family because I felt all the comfort that I get from my family members with ARC. And on top of that, you're doing some incredible activities. You go rafting, rock climbing, you go hiking, backpacking, you camp under the stars.
I remember the first day that my brother came back, I was like, this is such an amazing program, and I really want to do it myself. And I actually already submitted my application, you know, I'm already ready for it. I'm super excited, I'm super motivated, and I'm super just proud that I get this opportunity in such a beautiful place like Lake Tahoe to do it with a bunch of people that I might not know, and I'll just gain these amazing experiences with people that I'll soon learn to just be friends with, and I'm just so honored to have this opportunity.
It was definitely less messing around. There was actually no messing around. It was completely, you know, real and serious about my education. I was ambitious, I knew what I wanted. I feel more comfortable in leadership positions.
I feel like I gained a lot of confidence. I was more driven to be outside. If you go into it with a positive mindset, you're gonna have the best time of your life.
I can already see the change in my brother and my sister, and I just can't wait to see what it's going to change in me. It's just going to be amazing to be able to share that experience that we all spent 1 month in the wilderness, and it just like helped us all in an amazing way. Growing up with my brother and my sister, I feel like I've developed the strength of just being supportive and then just like being strong like when we're in the face of uncertainty. And I think that like I'm gonna just apply that at ARC. I feel like I'm just gonna be there, and I'm gonna be like the one that people can like rely on. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be supportive, and as I am with my brother and my sister. It's never gonna be just us alone. It's always gonna be us together.
You just gotta reach out to other people. You can't grow as a person sometimes all by yourself. You gotta reach out to other people. You gotta open up. You gotta ask for help. You gotta you need support. It's not just all about you. People will be out there. There's people out there that are able to help you. ARC really helps students find what they're passionate about and what they would like to do. So for me, it's probably been rock climbing so far, and then just backpacking with others and getting to know them while you're walking these trails. I feel as though I want to continue doing that.
I'm telling you now, it is the best month you'll spend. Just do it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Fun, and you'll learn just self-growth that you would not get anywhere else.
Their story represents what is possible when a family commits to doing a challenging experience like this and open to the transformation that could come from it. And I hope that other families are inspired by that. So much, and I got to work with some of those students. I was their instructor on the summer course. Arturo, the oldest, is now a junior at Santa Clara. Iran is a sophomore at Bowdoin College, and Isaac is applying early action to Yale. I think they are an amazing example of what is possible through this program. Thank you. How do I move? Thank you.
Don't know.
I don't know.
I came back from our.
Okay. Next, I'm going to talk about responsive programming. We built out our academic year program initially to support recruitment for our 33-day immersive summer program. I mentioned already it can be a hard sell, and we realized that we needed to create more scaffolding in order to reduce barriers for participation. As a result, the academic year program focuses on day-long introductory outdoor experiences where equipment and instruction are provided and students are learning in an affinity space with other first-time learners. We developed an orientation backpacking trip during our summer course enrollment process to similarly introduce students to backpacking and sleeping outside for the first time. And then we developed a shorter 11-day course this past summer to be a stepping stone to the 33-day course. Last year, we had some summer graduates who struggled to complete all of the requirements for the $1,000 scholarship, and we experimented with lengthening the time frame for completion and offering partial scholarships. As a small organization, we've been able to be nimble in our program delivery. By being responsive to student needs and building appropriate scaffolding, we are increasing the number of students who can have an ARC experience and offering more opportunity for progression within our program. So ARC recently transitioned to a co-directorship model. Cristina Cruz Navarro first joined ARC in 2021 as a summer course instructor and later served as a program coordinator in Tahoe, Truckee. She was raised by farm worker immigrant parents from Mexico and is from the first generation in her family to go to college. She earned a bachelor's degree in Chicano Studies and Black Studies from UC Santa Barbara and previously worked in youth development, community organizing, state government, and conservation. She is a relationship master, a visionary thinker, and a joy to work with. She first expressed a desire to take on a leadership role in ARC through the On the Verge cohort hosted by the Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, and we are excited to support her as she grows into this position of leadership. She would be here today presenting in my place if not for an important training she's attending in Sacramento. Co-directorship provides the opportunity for organizational sustainability while cultivating new leadership. Our founder, our directors, and a majority of our staff up to this point have been white. As an organization that primarily serves Latino youth, it's been important to us to do a better job of hiring and developing Latino staff who will serve as role models for our students. Internally, we've called this effort Cultivating Relevant Leadership. This has been challenging while living in a predominantly white community and working in a historically white field of outdoor education. It has required us to reinvent our organizational structure, our compensation structure, our hiring and recruitment process, and our training model. It has required us to hold up a magnifying glass to our organizational culture and to understand how elements of white supremacy culture create barriers to diversity, equity, and inclusion in our organization. We have had to learn and unlearn and to engage in difficult and uncomfortable conversations in order to uncover our blind spots and our biases. It is ongoing work that is hard and time-consuming and expensive and important. We do it because it aligns with our values and it has exponential impact. It is inspiring for our students to see a person who holds similar identities in a position of leadership. It has attracted more Latino staff to our organization, including our new program facilitator, Itzel Roman, and it may help more of our staff envision themselves in positions of leadership in our organization and others. Latino leadership will positively impact the culture of our organization and our relationships with students, families, and community members. Would you like me to end there? I have one more.
Yeah, quick.
Okay. This is really just about our commitment to learning. These are a variety of trainings that our staff have participated in at all levels, including like workshops for our Latino staff facilitated by Latino leaders on topics of Latino leadership, as well as trainings that we've done with our board to inform our strategic planning process with a DEI lens. So I hope that this window into our DEI efforts is encouraging and thought-provoking. We welcome opportunities to partner with you, and we encourage you to be bold and invest in your own DEI efforts so that we can also learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla Frag from the Adventure Risk Challenge. Unfortunately, don't have time for questions, but will you guys stay around? Because I think people will. Very powerful presentations, both. That video brought tears to my eyes, so yeah. All right, we are going to go into stump speeches. Do we have any around the room? Yes, Pastor David.
I'll do it real quick. So this is a truck or treat that we're having. This is our second annual one that we have. The first one we launched last year. We ran out of candy. So this is a great alternative for kids to go safely to go trick or treating. What means we open up trunks, we decorate them however we want to, just fun pumpkins and stuff. We'll have face painting, we'll have grilled hot dogs, we'll just have just a lot of fun and photo booths and things. So if you want to take one, you can give it to somebody if you think they should go, or if you just want to donate candy so we don't run out, you can do that too. So there's a little QR code, you can scan that with your phone. And this is a little gift to you as well. This is called Pick Up the Fork. I'm not promoting obesity, so it's just we always hear about put down the fork. But this is a new thing that if you want to better your life and things. So this is starting on October 29th. So these are free gifts for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Hello, my name, isn't she cute? My name is Karen Wilkins with the North Lake Tahoe Truckee Leadership Program, and we are accepting applications for our 2024 class. It is our 20th year. Allison and I went through it in 2005. So we are an adult leadership program that teaches leadership skills and introduces community topics in order to build stronger leaders. I need to move over here because I'm speaking to the choir over here. There's so many alumni on this side of the room. So our program is 5 months long, goes from January to May, and pick up this is a brochure, but I am available at Karen@TahoeTruckeeLeadership.com, or I can stay later.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Ruth.
Representing Sir Optimus, they wanted to ask, their toy barrels are not doing as well, and they had to spend like $8,000 to buy toys last year for the Toys for Tots and the Truckee Community Cares program. So they're asking if businesses will consider putting a barrel out at the holiday parties and such. So if anybody's interested, you can pursue it that way. Thank you.
Yeah, they just contacted us to put a barrel, so you can have it at your business, not just for events, but all season long. So yeah, encourage your staff to bring in toys. Okay, oh boy, yes.
Raven, I just wanted to say, I think this is one of the best programs we've ever had on Good Morning Truckee. And when I look around this room, this is a remarkable assemblage of community leaders. I mean, this group right here is making a big difference, and I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, and thanks to everybody for being here. I agree, this was a great turnout and probably says a lot about the presentations that we had this morning. So thank you to you guys and to the Arts Council as well. All right, we are going to do some door prizes. We're going to start with a coffee mug and return ticket to Good Morning Truckee, and I'm going to throw in a Sierra Injury Lawyers hat, which is the personal injury division of Porter Simon. So it's a big one. It's a big one. We will go with ticket 530004. Who is the lucky winner? Oh, Jess. All right.
Do you want to re-raffle my return ticket though?
Sure, we can re-raffle the return ticket. We'll put it into the next.
I definitely want the hat.
The next one. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's a get out of jail.
All right, the next one. We will do now a return ticket and a Museum of Truckee History private tour for 10 people in the old jail. And that is a $100 value, is going to go to 530007. All right.
Can I be one of your 10?
That's right. She'll be auctioning those off with the raffle tickets that remain after this. Okay, next up is a $15 sustainable Truckee gift card valid at 62 stores around town. And that will go to, let me mix these up a bit. Oh, the one that fell out. Goes to 530019. All right, congratulations. And last but not least, a happy Halloween jack-o'-lantern and a little bit self-promotion, a Porter Simon Law hat. Well, hold on. That might be too close to the other one. 530023. All right, congratulations. Thanks everybody for coming this morning. Erica and Kayla will stay around for a little bit, maybe for questions. I appreciate it. Good morning, Truckee. See you next month. Take care.